let's start with our first topic, that is what is current. Okay, we'll only discuss about what are the main things which you have to remember before going into the industry. That is our point. So what is current? You have to all know the definition and you should know what is current. Okay. So current is nothing but it's an amount of electrical charge which has been transferred from one polarity to another polarity, not polarity, we'll call it at one from this thing, electrical charge which has been transferred, right? Or rather, in a simple word, we will say it, that is, it is a flow of electrons. Please remember, it's a flow of electrons. What is the unit of current? Amperes, right? You can see in this diagram how the current is working, from where it is flowing in DC or in a battery, right? Immediately, I'll go to the second slide. There are two types of currents. One is called as AC current, one is DC current. With the figure, you can make it out on the left-hand side and right-hand side. Which one is AC and which one is DC? Where it is written phase and neutral, that is AC current. And where it is given battery, it's a DC current. So currents are of two types, AC and DC. How to measure the current, that we will see after the video or after the sometime. Okay. So sine wave and a straight line, that you have to remember correctly. Okay. That these two points are important. We'll go to the next topic. What is voltage? Right? Voltage, you have to define, if suppose you want to define a voltage, it is nothing but it's a potential difference between 2 points. Please remember, it can be positive, negative, or phase or neutral. Potential difference between 2 points. This point you have to, this much only you have to remember. Okay. What is the SI unit, or what is the unit of volt? It is V, that is volts, right? There are subunits also, millivolts, megavolt, gigavolt, kilovolts, likewise. Okay. But the main unit is volts, that you have to note. Like in AC current, we have AC voltage, we have two types. That is AC volt and DC volts. Okay. You can see from this figure, the AC volts and the DC volts. In AC volts, there is no direction for the flow. That is, the electron flow can flow from any of the direction. Whereas in DC, it will flow only from one direction, right? The same thing you can see on the chart also, on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, AC voltage chart and DC voltage chart. There is a straight line and there is in AC voltage, it is sinusoidal wave, okay? That means it will flow from neutral to phase or phase to neutral. You can see in this picture. The domestic voltage, what we get in our homes are from plug, that is AC 220 to 230 volts. That is AC volts, okay? And what we get from batteries and all, that is DC volts. Of course, we can make AC to DC, that we will see in the coming this thing. In the coming this thing, we will do two small practicals. I will show you on how to measure AC and DC. Friends and students, we will do the practical. We'll start the practical now. So we'll measure two things we are supposed to do. One is we'll measure the voltage, DC voltage, with the help of a multimeter, this digital multimeter. Second, we will measure the current by this circuit. What is this circuit? You have a LED, red color LED in this, and you have one resistor connected in series with the LED. Okay. So how to measure voltage and this? Because if you get voltage and current, you can find out power, and accordingly you can go to the energy also, as we have already discussed. So we have taken one LED, right? There is a breadboard. You know the breadboard connection. If you don't know, you can find so many videos on YouTube. You can go to any of the videos and learn about the breadboards. You in this LED, you have to remember two terminals. One is positive, one is negative, or one is anode or cathode. The lengthier terminal is positive, the shorter terminal is negative. Okay. The lengthier terminal is positive and this is short. So what I'm doing is positive terminal, I'm putting it on the positive side of the breadboard. Like how the edges, these two corners will have a straight connection. That is, internal connections will be in a line. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm there taking that as a common, the positive one. So I'm just connecting the positive one end and negative I've just connected to one end. What I will do, I will take a resistor. This is one resistor. Resistor is 330 ohms. You can see, you can check the values, resistor and all we will discuss in the coming classes, other things when we talk about components. Okay, so I will just connect one end of the resistor to the negative side of the LED, and another end I will just connect it like that. Can you see this? Okay, right. So I have, this is a small circuit. I have a 9 volt battery. I have a 3.3 volts battery, as well as I have a 6 volts battery also. 6 volts in a sense, I have used 4 cells of 1.5 volts and gets you 6 volts. Now, how to measure the voltage first? Okay, so you this on the multimeter, we are measuring, please remember, DC. These are all DC voltage. Whatever it is coming out from the battery is all DC. So I will just put my multimeter on DC mode. Correct. I put it on 20 because 9 volt, 3.3 volt, and 6 volt, more than 2 volts. So I put it on 20 volts. Please remember, measuring time, these two probes are there. One is common is black color, and one is positive, that is a red color. Okay, so polarity is important while taking or measuring the voltage. Polarity is important. That means, suppose this is black color wire which is coming from this battery. I don't know what is the voltage. I'm testing the voltage, please. Okay, so I will put it on a black here like this. And what I will do, there is a red color also. So what I will do, I will just put it on a red. So let's see what is the voltage. It is approximately 8.55 volt. However, if it is fully charged, you will get more than 9 volts because it's a 9 volt battery. But I'm getting 8.55 volts. So how I have connected the negative terminal, the black color wire, I have connected to the negative of the wire, that is negative of the battery, and positive to the red color to the positive of the battery. This is nothing but we call a voltage reading. How I've connected. Okay, right. Now what we'll do is I will just switch it off. I will make this connection. I will just give the second part. The second part means what? The positive side, that is we are measuring the current. So what I will do is the positive side, I'm connecting it to this side. Okay, I'm connecting the positive side to the positive of the LED. Okay, positive. And I'm connecting negative side to the negative of the LED. The LED glows, right? The LED is switched on. Now, if you want to check the current, what is the procedure? How you will check it? Listen carefully and see carefully. There is an ampere, this thing is given, that is ampere and straight line and dotted line. That is, you can measure only DC current. So I will just put it on 200 milliamps, 200 M, it's written. Take your probes, right? So what I will do, that probe, I will just remove this negative one. Okay, this negative probe I have removed. I will put this negative probe to the negative side here. Got it? Can you see? I have this negative terminal is connected to the negative probe. Negative I have connected. What I will do is this positive probe, I'm connected to the resistor other end. That is, which is not connected to the LED other end, which is the LED start glowing, but you got some reading on the meter also. That is 8.7 or 8.6 approximately. It is just moving around. This is nothing but the consumed current. This circuit is consuming this much of current, 8.2, 8.1, right? It is fluctuating, of course. It is taking this much of current. So how I have connected this? I have connected in series because the negative of the probe I have connected to the battery probe here, and the positive. That means the supply is coming, going through this and coming out, and then it is going to my these thing. Okay, then it is going to my meter. Okay, through meter it is going to my circuit. So 8.2, 8.3, this is the current consumed milliamps, where I have kept it 200 milliamps. So please remember, this is the way you test current and voltage. Okay, please remember, in this you cannot test, only ampere DC is given. So in this meter, only DC current up to 200 milliamps you can choose. Of course, they have given one 10 amp also, but I will suggest not to use that 10 amp because you have to shift this red color wire to this side and you have to take 10 amp is little higher current. So I will suggest for lower current, how to measure that you can do it with this meter. So we have seen today how to test the voltage and how to test the current.